Hello, and welcome to Diagnosing the Barriers, the Right to Health in Israel and the OPT, a podcast from Physicians for Human Rights Israel, or PHRI. I'm your host, Natalie Foster. PHRI is an Israeli nonprofit organization that promotes the right to health for all people living in Israel and the Occupied Palestinian Territory, or OPT, through the direct provision of medical care and policy change efforts. In this episode, we will be talking about the current situation in Israeli detention facilities, focusing on the rapid deterioration of conditions and systemic violations of human rights, specifically for Palestinian prisoners after October 7th. To do that, I'm joined by Naji Abbas, Director of the Prisoners and Detainees Department at PHRI. Naji, thanks for talking with me today. So I imagine that a lot of people listening are not very familiar with the Israeli prison system, and I was hoping that you could start by providing a short description of the setup of the prison system in Israel.
When speaking about the detention in Israel, we are speaking that all the prisoners and detainees in Israel are held under the custody of what's called the Israeli Prison Service, the IPS. The IPS is the official authority for detention in Israel. Mm-hmm. And the IPS is the only authority that have a separate medical system from the Ministry of Health in Israel. So prisoners in Israel are the only group that get treatment and medical treatment separately from the Ministry of Health. Mm. Before October, in the Israeli prisons, there were like 15,000 prisoners. 5,000 of them are Palestinians who are defined as security prisoners. And from these security prisoners, 1,500 were what's called administrative, under administrative detention.
Okay.
We at PHR worked for decades, for years, to provide all the people who under the custody of the IPS an equal medical care and medical treatment as it's provided in the Ministry of Health. Mm. We worked with Palestinian prisoners, with Israeli criminal prisoners, with Arabs, with Jews. And for years, we are working and trying to make the IPS and the Ministry of Health to take out the medical system from the control of the IPS, because we are speaking about a security authority, mm-hmm. Not a health authority that can provide and know how to provide health care.
Yeah.
So for years and our demand is to take out this system and to make it under the control of the Ministry of Health.
Okay. And because it's safe to say that the quality of health care that's provided in the prison system is significantly lower than standard, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. As I said, because the IPS is not ready to provide an equal health care. Mm-hmm. So there always are problems. There are always delayed. There are always problems with the medical care. The physicians who work are not specialists. Mm. They need to transfer prisoners out to the hospitals, and that need a lot of work and need a lot of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And that what make the treatment lower mm-hmm. Than what's provided under the Ministry of Health.
Got it. Okay. And so what are conditions sort of like in the prison system?
The conditions are different from one group to another group.
Okay.
There is the group of Palestinians who are defined as security prisoners. Mm-hmm. This group don't have an access for phone calls. And that is a very important way or a tool to complain about problems when we are speaking about medical care. Mm-hmm. But the problems in the medical system is also applied for security Palestinians and also for Israeli criminals.
Okay.
But one of the problems that also affect the health and the health system in prison, it's what's called administrative detention. Mm-hmm. mainly Palestinians who get arrested under the administrative detention. We are speaking about detention without any charges that we can know of. The lawyer, the prisoners can't know what he's in charge of. And he can send to prison for 6 months and can released, and after a few months can get arrested again and again and again. That for people who have medical condition is a very problematic fact, because he don't manage to get the treatment that they needed.
Right.
Because outside they don't have the time to get the treatment, and after a while they get arrested again.
Right.
And that is a circle that they can't break.
Sure. If they do happen to receive any treatment in prison and then they're released, there's no continued care.
No.
So it just gets halted and have to
Exactly.
figure it out when they're...
Because one of the main problems that prisoners under the IPS, they don't know. They are in the dark when we are speaking about their medical care or medical treatment. They don't know what they are doing, which test. They don't know. They don't get an explain of the results of the test that they do.
Wow.
They don't get the results by their hands, because the IPS control everything regarding their medical care.
Wow. And so throughout 2023, too, I know that there was, under Netanyahu's government, there have been several bills and measures that have been proposed and implemented to further curtail and limit the rights of Palestinian prisoners, security detainees. So what were some of the trends that were witnessed before October 7th? And can you give some examples of some of the bills that were proposed measures to limit these rights?
Yeah. Even so, the conditions and the medical care weren't so good. But from the beginning of 2023, since the new government arrived, the minister who's in charge of the IPS, Ben-Gvir, he declared it in every way possible, and he worked for that to make the conditions for Palestinians in the Israeli prison harder. He had a lot of laws that he tried to apply about the conditions of the prisoners, regarding the food that they get, regarding the family visits, but also regarding the medical treatment that they get.
Okay.
In the summer of 2023, for example, Ben-Gvir and a member of his party tried to apply a law that prevent some of the medical the treatments from Palestinian prisoners, especially.
Wow.
They called it back then. They called it a treatment for improving life. We don't know what is that, and our doctor said that there is nothing like this in medical in medicine. Treatments to provide life. Every treatment is to improve the life of the sick people.
Yeah.
So we actually at PHR and physicians of our behalf joined the meetings in the Knesset about this law. And we back then we managed to stop them by making it clear that there is no such thing, and you can't prevent people from medical care that they needed, because treatment for pain is a treatment to improve life.
Yeah.
So if they succeeded back then, that means that a lot of treatment will be prevented from Palestinians.
Are the rules, are they differently applied to Israeli Jews versus Palestinians?
The medical system is the same.
Okay.
And it has the same problems. But for Palestinians, even before October and before the war, some aspects were different, because Palestinian prisoners were held in prisons who's located in the south of Israel, far away from cities and from hospitals.
Okay.
That means when they needed to go to a hospital for test or to get a treatment, that needed a long trip for each treatment. They don't control the language, because all the workers in the IPS are Jews who speak Hebrew,
Right.
and Palestinians don't know the language. That is a thing that blocked the treatment in somehow. Also, the administrative detention and the cutting of the treatment every few months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same system, but for sure there were some differences and difficulties that apply just for Palestinians.
Got it. And so that leads into sort of my next question, and focusing on what happened on October 7th when Hamas attacked Israel's southern communities, and there were mass arrests of Palestinians, particularly Gazans, who were inside Israel, some of who were involved in the attack, but many thousands who were just in Israel at the time, some actually with valid working permits and permits to receive medical care as well. What was the justification that was given for the arrests, and really what happened to all of these people?
Okay, the answer for that is a bit complicated, because after the 7th of October, we are speaking about three groups of Palestinians.
Okay.
Let's divide it like this.
Okay.
Because we started to speak about the IPS, let's start with this group. In the IPS, before October, we were speaking about 5,000 Palestinians from the West Bank, Jerusalem, Gaza, and Palestinian with Israeli citizenship.
Okay.
Today, the number doubled itself.
Wow.
We are speaking about 10,000 Palestinians under the custody of the IPS.
Okay.
Especially the new arrests are from the West Bank and East Jerusalem and Palestinian with Israeli citizenship. This the first group.
Okay.
The second group, as you said, Natalie, these are the Gazan people who had an approval and a permit to stay in Israel for work, for medical care, or other reasons.
Okay.
These people weren't involved in anything of any combat or such a thing. But after the 7th of October, the Israeli authorities decided that to arrest all of them. And we are speaking about thousands of people. Women, men, children, old people. So the Israeli army, and what the new thing after October, that the Israeli authorities started to hold Palestinians under the custody of the Israeli army.
Okay.
And that what happened with the Gazan people. These thousands of people, Palestinians, were held under the custody of the Israeli army.
Okay.
And actually, they were held without any legal cause, even by the Israeli law, for at least 1 month in a military base, not a regular prison, a military base which is not ready to hold people, and especially such a large number of this. So they were held for 1 month, and after 1 month, the Israeli army started to release these people and to send them back to Gaza, even when during the war. So the Israeli army really arrested these people illegally and then released them to a war zone. But actually, we don't know for sure. We think that there is still, and we don't know what the number is, there's still people from this group till today, after 6 months, are held under the custody of the Israeli army. The third group is the Palestinians from Gaza who were arrested in the 7th of October, and after that, during the combat inside Gaza. Also here we are speaking about thousands of people, and the media or the Israeli media all the time speak about arresting Hamas members. Actually, that's not the case, because these people include children, old people in their 90s and 80s, people with medical needs. We know about people getting arrested from Gaza on wheelchairs. These people also are under the custody of the Israeli army, not the IPS. Part of them are transferred after a while to the IPS, but they are mainly under the custody of the army. And they are also held in a military base that weren't ready to contain people, but that's what is happening. And about these two groups, what's different from the Palestinians who are in the IPS, till today, after 6 months, the Israeli army are refusing to provide any information about these people, their names, their number, the condition that they are held in.
Wow.
Are they getting medical treatment if they were needed? Visits are not allowed for lawyers, for the Red Cross even. So there's a few official information about these people. We at PHR and the Israeli law, not PHR, the international law describe this policy as a forcible disappearing. And when it's uses in a systematic way, as the Israeli army is using it, it's a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
Because people are getting arrested and we don't know what is happening with them. Are they alive or not?
Yeah. Unfortunately, as of recording this, there have been reports of 27 Palestinians who have died, both in prisons and military detention facilities. As you said, there isn't really any knowledge about conditions and what's happening. Can you speak a little bit to what has happened to them and sort of what any investigation, both from within Israel or internationally, what that's looked like looking into this tragedy?
Actually, we know about more than 35 Palestinians who died in the different detention facilities.
Wow.
11 of them died under the custody of the IPS. These people, we know their names, we know when they died, and actually doctors of our volunteers participated and attended the autopsies of 5 of them.
Okay.
Behalf the families. So we know what happened with this group, the Palestinian who died under the custody of the IPS. But as you said, there is the people who are under the custody of the army. From media reports, actually, we know that there is 27 Palestinians who died in these military bases. But we don't know their names. We don't know when they died, how they died. We don't know anything. It's just a media report. We, for 2 months now, are asking also the Ministry of Health, also the Israeli army, to provide us the number of the people who died under the custody of the army. But till now, we didn't get any official response for that.
Wow.
About the Palestinian who died in the Israeli regular prisons, let's call it like this. As I said, our doctors attended 5 autopsies. In 2 of these autopsies, there were clear signs of an assault and violence in different places on their bodies. In one case, there are a lot of broken ribs. And actually that makes sense because we have testimonies of people who saw these people getting beaten till death. In other cases, we know that the people who died had the medical conditions before. In one autopsy, our doctor said it very clear that a 21 years old guy, Muhammad Sabbar, who had a chronic disease, was well known for the IPS because he is in prison since the summer of 2023. Our doctor said that if he got the adapted diet that he needed, or if he got a treatment when his condition went worse, his life could be saved. But he didn't get nor the diet he needed, and he didn't get treatment after that. And when he was transferred to hospital, it was too late. And after a few hours, he died there.
Yeah.
Just because the IPS didn't provide a very simple thing like adapted diet. So this is the death conditions. Or you are dying Palestinian or dying from violence and torture and assault. Or you are dying because of the heart condition or because of medical negligence. But as I said, for the Gazan people under the custody of the army, till now there is no official information about their deaths.
Got it. What is the international community doing, if anything, to try to advocate for this?
Yeah, actually, we are since October and since November when we understood that the Israeli authorities won't help regarding these violations. And because we went to the Supreme Court of Israel twice, actually, in October and November, but in the both cases, the Supreme Court rejected us and said that in one of them, they said that it's okay that prisoners sleep on the floor because we are in a war. And then other case, the court said that the IPS are working by law. Even we brought tens of testimonies about violence, about medical negligence, and about heart conditions. So after that, we started to reach out diplomats, the UN offices, asking to speak out against these policies of the Israeli security authorities. We know about a lot of letters and about a lot of calls from the international community against this violation. But actually, unfortunately, till now, it seems that it has a very little effect on the decisions maker in Israel, because till now we are getting testimonies about violence, about medical negligence, and about heart conditions. We are visiting till now. We are in March and February. We are till now visiting Palestinian prisoners who are in the same short T-shirt, since the 7th of October.
Yeah.
So these guys, and we are speaking about who are in a short T-shirt during the whole winter. So the effect of the work and the cause of the international community till now is very little.
Yeah. Can you speak a little bit more to some of like the hard conditions that is happening and the changes that have happened within the prison system in addition to the assaults and the violence? Is there daily conditions that have been sort of implemented as a result of the 7th?
Yeah, actually, after the 7th of October, it seems like Ben-Gvir and the government, who were trying to make it harder for Palestinians in everywhere, including inside prisons, after October, it was an opportunity for them. So they change everything inside the Israeli prisons. After the October, all the stuff that the prisoners had were taken. All the books, or the clothes, or their family pictures, everything they were taken, and the prisoners were left in an empty cells, just the beds, and not for everybody, because each cell, the cell who contained before October 5 prisoners, today it contained 10 or 12. So even beds, there is not for everybody. The Palestinian prisoners were prevented from making their own food, and they are provided since October food from the IPS kitchens. And all the prisoners that we are visiting are speaking about being hungry for weeks and months now. Because they are getting a very small amount of food in a very bad quality. Family visits are not allowed since October for 6 months now. The Red Cross are not allowed to enter any detention facility in Israel. Lawyer visits are very hard to be done, because the prisons even or they don't respond to our requests, or they give us a very far date for a visit, or they can give you a date for a visit, but when the lawyer arrived to the prison, they cancelled the visit. From the beginning of the war, from October, the IPS cut off the water from the cells. They cut off the electricity, so Palestinian prisoners are in the dark the whole day. The water is provided just for one hour for shower and for drink, just for 1 hour a day. For months, the medical system was stopped. We visited people with chronic diseases. We actually worked on a case of a Palestinian prisoners who had cancer and was supposed to start treatment in October. But when we visited him in November, after 2 months of his date, he didn't get any treatment. So the medical care system stopped totally for months. Prisoners were provided just the pills, the regular pills that they needed, but there is no tests. Treatment outside of the prison in the hospitals were stopped. There is no physicians who enter, specialist physicians enter the prisons that were stopped. So all the medical system was stopped. All of that is beside the violence and the assaults inside the prison.
Wow. I'm wondering too if there is a particular case or story that has sort of stuck with you from these past 5.5 months.
Actually, there's a few stories, and each story describe and make another problem clearer. As I said, this like the story of a Palestinian prisoner who was waiting to start treatment for cancer. And his appointment was set to the beginning of October. But after the start of the war, all his treatment was stopped. And we need to apply to and send a few letters to the IPS to make them take him to his treatment. And he got his treatment just in late January. In other case, another 23 years old Palestinian prisoner, Asif Rifai, also had cancer, and his situation was very dangerous. Asif died in February, and his family weren't allowed to visit him in his last few days, and he died without saying goodbye to his family. Fahmi Khaldi is a 22 years old Gazan woman who were arrested from her home in Gaza and brought to the Israeli prisons. And when we asked to visit her, the Israeli authorities said that we are not allowed to visit her because she is an illegal combat. An 82 years woman, she's defined in Israel as an illegal combat. Even so, we had reports that she has Alzheimer. There is a lot of cases. Each case has its story. So we are working in tens of cases. Each case has its problem and each case has its story.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing their stories and their names. It's clearly part of a system of oppression and seemingly becoming more systematic to treat Palestinian prisoners and detainees, security detainees, honestly less than human, it sounds like. And so in a way, I feel like from what you've said, October 7th sort of, while it was already declining, pushed the domino in a way that's led to sort of the opening of worse treatment. And so I'm wondering, if possible, I'm sure that your department has thought a lot about this, but if you can talk just briefly in closing about some of the recommendations or actions that PHRI has taken and is recommending to try and improve this horrific situation that's unfolding.
First of all, as you said exactly, this government in Israel, since it started a year ago, they were working to make the life of Palestinians in every aspect harder and more difficult, and especially the Palestinians who are inside the Israeli prisons. And October, it's not like October was an excuse, but before October, there were some tools that prevented this government from doing what they want. But Actually, after October, all these tools vanished. The Supreme Court didn't stop what is happening. The Ministry of Health are not speaking out against these policies.
Yeah.
The Medical Association in Israel didn't speak out against the medical negligence and the stopping of the medical care. So what changed? The government continued what she started before October.
Right.
What changed in Israel that the other authorities stopped their work. So there is no balance today. The government is doing whatever it wants. We are at PHR, the Prisoners Department, we are working in every possible way to change the situation and to stop these violations. We are working in individual cases. We are applying till now, actually, even the court rejected us. We are still trying to apply to courts, to the Supreme Court. We had a petition now demanding that the Israeli army and the IPS allow the Red Cross to enter the detention facilities. We didn't get a response yet. We have a petition now demanding to know the exact number of Gazan people who died. Until now, we didn't get a response also. But we are working by the Israeli law. We are working on individual cases. And we are working with the international community, with the UN offices, to try to make all these policies and these violations to stop.
Yeah.
Our demands is that the Israeli authorities should release all the Palestinians who were arrested without any legal cause, because since October, we said that before October, the Palestinians who were under the administrative detention were 1,500. Today, we are speaking about almost 4,000 Palestinians who are in jail without any charges. So we are demanding to release all these Palestinians who were arrested without any legal causes. We are demanding to allow the Red Cross. It's a very simple request when we are speaking about a state that claims it's a state of law, to allow the Red Cross to enter the detention facilities. And besides that, we are demanding to put pressure on the Israeli authorities by every way possible to stop this violation and to stop the torture, the violation of basic human rights.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Thank you, Naji. I think this is such an important and frankly under-discussed and underrepresented issue currently in the media. So I really appreciate you taking the time to join me and speak about what is happening, and hopefully things will change. And so thank you again. If you'd like to get more information about the conditions within the incarceration and detention facilities, you can read PHRI's position paper and find other issues that the Prisoner and Detainees Department is working on our website. If you have questions or comments, we would love to hear from you at mail@phr.org.il. Thank you again, Naji, for joining me today.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time on Diagnosing the Barriers.